My first trip to Africa was with my grandmother in 1986, and I fell in love. My heart swelled a million times here. Once you see the sunset in Africa, you're hooked. My heart, my soul is Africa. This is where I do wheelchairs, is in Africa. My job for the last 25 years has been taking people on distributions with Mr. Bering.
As you go to the third world countries, there's so many people that are without hope, without a future, and they need people such as us to at least let them live somewhat of a normal life. So it's become very important to me.
Ken, a visionary. He's an absolute visionary. And when he has a goal, there's no stopping him. He was just a powerhouse. And he would literally use every connection he had to forge through and make sure that we covered every country we could with wheelchairs.
So I'm very happy that Mr. Barry and Stefano Ricci have been so generous. It's a great day for me. And
it's because of you that I'm here.
I say,
A person like you deserves all the help that we can give.
Africa's my passion, my heart. This is where I do wheelchairs. We have some incredible partners here, and they call me all the time, Charli, we need more wheelchairs. Please send us more wheelchairs. When you do something this awesome, people want to participate. And we partnered with so many wonderful organizations that wanted to be involved. I'm so grateful for this organization, and it's called HEDCO. And every other year we get a grant for 4 containers of wheelchairs for Africa. They choose Africa. Longtime good friend of Mr. Bering's and us is Cecil Corringham with Lifeform Taxidermy. And he has generously offered to import the wheelchairs, to store the wheelchairs, and to help us find the need for those that need them. The need sometimes is hard to find because these people are in the bush. They're impossible to even know that they're there unless you have people out in the field looking for the need. Cess here at Lifeform Taxidermy really put the word out for wheelchairs and met a gal named Kylah.
I must say, I had a sense of nervousness before you guys came, not knowing who I was going to meet. It's obviously meant a lot for us to know that there is a massive foundation coming to us.
She is amazing.
I'm happy.
Shop runs an organization, a nonprofit just like us, Warriors on Wheels. She is a mama warrior. This is her life journey, is to help people with disabilities. She has a child with a disability. She knows the struggle, she knows the need, and I am so impressed with her. So that's why getting out there and getting out into these really rural areas is so important for us, because that's really where the need is.
The thing is, the more trips you do, the more you realize the need is just so important.
So we better get going.
We need to get going. How are you? This week there was a lot of planning that had to go in. Day 1, we completed 8 deliveries. Day 2, we completed 9 deliveries. And day 3, we delivered 6 wheelchairs, changed and blessed the lives of 6 individuals and their families. It all began 13 years ago. My son was born with spina bifida. It was an undiagnosed condition. I went to hospital that morning expecting a perfectly healthy baby boy, and after Maya's birthday realized that he had spina bifida and obviously would need surgery very urgently. I saw the constraints that our government hospitals run under, the lack of nursing staff at times, the lack of equipment, and then the mothers themselves. They come from very underprivileged backgrounds. And I left after 3 months in a privileged situation where I could come back, get onto a medical aid, get my son to the best specialists, neuros, urologists, physios, OTs, everything that a special needs child will need to be able to reach their best and full potential. And it always stuck in my heart, what about those moms I met in the hospital?
How old is Susan now?
Which medication? Medication.
The medication in my feet.
Was it for the muscle spasms? I knew then that seed had been planted, that I needed to get back to these moms, back to these families, back to these children.
It's probably the most thankful job you could have because, you know, you work hard, but you're changing lives. Not only the lives of the people that are getting the wheelchair, but you're changing the lives of their families and their communities.
I'm really just an average special needs mom. I've got a full-time job. I run the non-profitable organization on the sideline where on weekends we will load the wheelchairs, get into our vehicles, and we go back to the homes and we just go and give some hope back to these families.
It's like, why me? Why would somebody care about me? We do. We care about everybody. We want everybody to have a wheelchair. We're just as blessed to be able to have that feeling of joy and happiness and gratefulness and humbleness of being able to give that gift of freedom and mobility. It's as simple as that, giving everybody purpose. Mr. Bering, he wanted his mission to continue when he left this world for another world. Sorry. He loved doing this so much. He cried, he hugged, he loved. You know, without him, none of this would have happened. Without the simple task of being selfless and just wanting to give back, to be on that journey that he was on. And he made sure that he funded this mission. So every time anybody raises money for a container, we'll match that money. And we can buy a container and go and deliver it wherever they choose. So that was his mission, to carry it forward. We are in so much need for more. You've seen the need, you know the need. I really encourage people to raise money for a container of wheelchairs and get out in the field. It's one thing to buy a wheelchair, yes, and you know, your heart feels good, but to get out there and physically pick that person up and put them in a wheelchair and get that hug from the mother that's so grateful. There's just no other feeling like it. You know, Ken did it until he was in his 90s. We can all do it until we're in our 90s. I think that we'll keep the mission going forever, because the need will never end.